Everything that happened about the murders, he told me. And yes, that conversation is recorded.
In his attorney's office, he recalled his life as a gang member and cocaine dealer. He also says he suffers from PTSD in part because he claims Simpson told him how he committed the murders. This all started back in 2022. That's when Bloomington police took this backpack as evidence as part of an assault investigation involving Avelli. Last year, Avelli claimed one of the 6 thumb drives in that backpack contained an audio recording of Simpson confessing to the murders. But investigators say they never found it. Avelli claimed to have that recording on hand today, but refused to play it.
2 bodies lie near the entrance of this condominium building. The female victim is 35-year-old Nicole Brown Simpson. The male victim is identified as 25-year-old Ronald Goldman.
Police have not revealed how the 2 were killed.
Someone told us that. Yeah, and we're going to need to talk to you about that.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187.
On the morning of June 17, 1994, more than 1,000 journalists gathered outside the Los Angeles Police Department headquarters, waiting for a single moment: the arrest of Orenthal James, the O.J. Simpson, one of America's most famous athletes. O.J. Simpson was not just a legendary football star. He was also a movie actor, sports commentator, and advertising icon. But now he was the prime suspect in a double murder case that had shocked the country. 5 days earlier, on June 12, 1994, police discovered 2 brutally murdered bodies outside a Brentwood condominium in Los Angeles. The victims were Nicole Brown Simpson, O.J.'s ex-wife, and Ron Goldman, a waiter and family friend who had stopped by to return a pair of glasses Nicole's mother had left at a restaurant. The scene was horrifying. Nicole lay near the bottom of the courtyard stairs, her throat slashed, while Ron's body was found nearby, stabbed repeatedly. There were no signs of forced entry or robbery. Whoever did this came directly to kill. Inside the home, Nicole's 2 children with O.J. slept unaware of what had happened outside. The killings appeared calculated and violent. Nicole had long told friends and police that O.J. was abusive and controlling. During their 7-year marriage, she had endured repeated violence, and even after their divorce, O.J. continued to harass her. Nicole once told police that he was going to kill her.
911 emergency.
Can you get someone over here now to 325 Gretna Green? He's back. Please.
Well, okay, what does he look like?
He's O.J. Simpson. I think you know his record.
Coming back to the crime scene, investigators found blood trails leading away from the bodies, bloody shoe prints, and hair fibers. Blood samples linked to both victims and O.J. were later discovered in his white Ford Bronco, on the door handle, carpet, and steering wheel. A glove matching one found at the murder site was also recovered behind O.J.'s house, stained with blood containing the victim's DNA. As the evidence mounted, police decided to charge Simpson with murder. On June 17th, he was expected to turn himself in at 11 a.m. But the moment never came. When O.J. failed to show, officers contacted his lawyers and discovered that Simpson had vanished from his friend and attorney Robert Kardashian's home. Inside the room, he left 3 farewell letters to his children, to his mother, and to the public, implying that he might take his own life. By that evening, O.J. was on the run in the now infamous white Ford Bronco, driven by his old football teammate, Al Cowlings. Police soon located the vehicle traveling slowly down the 405 freeway. When officers tried to pull them over, Cowlings phoned 911, saying O.J. was in the back seat, holding a gun to his head. The pursuit that followed became one of the most watched live events in American history. Over 95 million people tuned in as helicopters followed the Bronco across Los Angeles. Crowds gathered on overpasses chanting, "Go O.J., go!" The chase cut into live sports broadcasts, including Game 5 of the NBA Finals, and captivated the entire country. Police negotiators, including Detective Tom Lang, spoke directly to O.J. by cell phone.
I doubt that he will be leaving again. The police now know where he is. We have found him. The door is opening, and let's see what happens now. We'll watch with you.
Okay, I believe a man is pleading to negotiate with people here, the police obviously, and it's obviously very stressful down there from these pictures, as you can see. A very delicate situation.
Urging him to surrender peacefully. After nearly 2 hours, the Bronco pulled into O.J.'s Brentwood home around 8 p.m. Cowlings pleaded with Simpson not to hurt himself. Eventually, O.J. stepped out, entered his home, made a brief phone call to his mother, drank a glass of orange juice, and finally surrendered. O.J.'s arrest led to one of the most publicized court cases in modern history, the People versus O.J. Simpson, widely called the trial of the century. Beginning in 1995, the televised trial gripped America for 11 months. The prosecution argued that O.J. had both the motive and the opportunity. They laid out a timeline. Nicole dined with family at Mezzaluna restaurant around 6:30 p.m. Goldman left the restaurant at 9:50 p.m. to return the forgotten glasses. Neighbors heard Nicole's dog barking around 10:15 p.m. The murders likely occurred shortly after. At 11 p.m., O.J.'s limousine arrived to take him to the airport for a late-night flight to Chicago, where he checked into a hotel early the next morning. Exactly the kind of timing, prosecutors said, that would allow him to kill and flee undetected. DNA analysis connected blood from the crime scene, O.J.'s Bronco, and the glove at his house. Yet the defense, led by Robert Shapiro and Johnny Cochran, claimed the LAPD mishandled evidence and framed Simpson due to racial bias. When O.J. dramatically struggled to fit the bloody glove in court, Cochran famously told jurors, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit."
It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
On October 3, 1995, the jury found O.J. Simpson not guilty of both murders. Nearly 100 million Americans watched the verdict live, a moment that split the nation along racial and cultural lines.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187.
Although O.J. walked free, the families of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman filed a civil lawsuit. In 1997, a jury found O.J. liable for wrongful death and battery, ordering him to pay $33.5 million in damages. To help satisfy the judgment, his Heisman Trophy and other possessions were auctioned off. Public opinion largely remained convinced of his guilt. Later, when Simpson published a book titled "If I Did It," describing hypothetically how he might have committed the murders, many saw it as a disturbing confession in disguise. Because of O.J.'s fame and the shocking nature of the case, countless alternative theories emerged over the years. One popular claim came from private investigator Bill Deere, who argued that O.J.'s eldest son, Jason Simpson, had committed the murders in a fit of rage after Nicole skipped a dinner he had planned. Deere suggested that O.J. helped cover up the crime to protect his son. However, most of his evidence was circumstantial, and critics dismissed the theory as implausible. In 2012, a documentary titled "My Brother the Serial Killer" proposed that convicted murderer Glenn Rogers had killed Nicole and Ron while trying to steal her jewelry, allegedly at O.J.'s request. Yet records later showed Rogers was in jail during the murders. Despite decades of speculation, no alternative suspect has ever been officially linked to the killings. After the trial, O.J.'s celebrity status collapsed. Once adored, he became a cultural symbol of denial, fame, and justice gone wrong. Then, in 2007, he was arrested again, this time for armed robbery and kidnapping in Las Vegas, after attempting to retrieve sports memorabilia he claimed had been stolen from him.
In gangster style, and it was, I'll shoot you.
Bruce Romong says it was the scariest night of his life.
First I'm thinking, this is a robbery. And then the last guy in, naturally, was O.J.
O.J. Simpson came to the Palace Station Hotel Casino determined to get back what he believed was his own memorabilia.
In 2008, he was sentenced to 33 years in prison, though he served only 9 before being paroled in 2017. Even after his release, O.J. remained a controversial figure. He occasionally appeared on social media. On April 10th, 2024, O.J. Simpson died in Las Vegas at age 76 after battling prostate cancer. His death reignited old debates about guilt, fame, and justice in America. For some, he was a fallen hero who symbolized racial inequality within the legal system. For others, he was a murderer who had escaped true punishment. The O.J. Simpson case remains one of the most discussed criminal stories in modern history, not only for its brutality, but for how it changed television, race relations, and celebrity culture. Decades later, the question, did O.J. do it, still sparks debate. But with the evidence, the history of abuse, and the aftermath that followed, most of America quietly reached its own conclusion long ago.